Alright, guys, today we're going to be reacting to top 25 places to visit in Germany. Travel Guy. Did we react to one of his videos yet? I don't remember. But check him out. Go to his channel. Just give him some love. I'm going to leave the links in the description down below. That way you can just share. We just experienced very good content so far. Also, some of the images from one of the last videos, amazing. With the drone. Those mountains, my goodness. Very jealous. We're just gonna jump in to this great video. Let's see what happens. Let's go.
And I want to show you some of my favorite places in the magical country of Germany. So here's my Germany top 25. Video off at Germany's highest mountain, the Zugspitze. Now with a height of 2,962 meters, it's easily one of the most impressive mountains in the country. Zugspitze is located in southern Germany, and the easiest way to get to the top of the mountain is by a cable car. It costs around 60 euros, and it's one of the biggest gondolas I've ever been in. Honestly, an engineering phenomenon and a little scary going up. And once you reach the top, you can explore the mountain station. I mean, it really blew me away up there. It totally reminded me of an evil villain's lair. One thing that I thought was interesting is you can walk through this tunnel and it'll take you to the Austrian side of Zugspitze. Now from the platform on the German side, you can see the summit cross. Me and my brother decided we wanted to climb to the top. The snow made it a little sketchy, but we held on tight to the iron wire and climbed a ladder and made it to the cross. I mean, the views were unreal up there. I mean, if you go in the summertime, I'm sure it's not as sketchy to summit this. Now after Zugspitze, you can take the cable car down to
the question is the mountains are that high that the snow was you still will see snow, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if you go in summer and you climb that high, I guess there's snow. There's still gonna be snow, right? Am I wrong? I don't know.
Visit the Lake Eibsee. Now it's known as the Maldives of the Alps with its clear water and tree-dotted islands. I mean, the color of the water there is astounding. Now if you have time, I definitely recommend walking along the lake. It's full of beautiful groves of trees and a perfect place to relax on the shoreline and enjoy some Bavarian nature. After, we're going to head over to Wagenbrüche. Now I have to say this is one of the most scenic places in all of Germany. I mean, I was just baffled by this place. It's this beautiful little lake nestled in the mountains, and it's full of farm sheds that dot the hillside. Now the lake is overlooked by the perfectly placed Karwendel Alps. I mean, it reminded me a lot of Alpe d'Huez in the Dolomites. I had such a fun time exploring here. I just walked down a little dirt road to get there, and it was a spectacular place to enjoy the Bavarian sunset. While we're still in Bavaria, we're going to head over to Berchtesgaden. Now I have to say this is one of the most beautiful towns in all of Germany. It's just a 2-hour drive from Munich and it's nestled in the Bavarian Alps. One of my favorite features of Berchtesgaden is the
Wow.
Watzmann Mountain. It's a uniquely shaped peak that towers over the town. It almost looks like someone took a bite out of it. One thing I love about Berchtesgaden is there's so many beautiful churches to explore. One of my favorites is the church in Ramsau. It's right next to this beautiful stream, and there's this picture-perfect bridge to observe the church from. Another one of my favorites is the Maria Dern Church, which offers a perfect view of the Watzmann Mountain. One of the main reasons I wanted to go to Berchtesgaden was to visit Hitler's Eagle's Nest. Now I'm really fascinated with World War II history, and I had to see this place for myself. Now the Eagle's Nest was built in 1939 and was given to Hitler for his 50th birthday. Now to get to the Eagle's Nest, you can take a bus up. When you get to the top, you'll walk through a deep tunnel into the mountain. When I was in there, it was just crazy to think that Hitler walked these same walls. Now at the end of the tunnel, there's a circular room that leads you into a golden elevator. Even though the Eagle's Nest and the road leading up to it cost nearly 200 million euros to make, adjusted for inflation, Hitler only visited it on 14 documented occasions. This may be because Hitler was afraid of heights and he was also scared of using the elevator. Thankfully, the Eagle's Nest wasn't destroyed in World War II, and today it's a restaurant with panoramic views. And while you're there, you can hike up some walking paths into the Berchtesgaden National Park, enjoying the incredible sights of this historical destination. Afterwards, we're going to head back to Berchtesgaden to visit the Lake Kunensee. Now the lake was created by glaciers, which makes it feel like you're in a fjord you'd see in Norway or New Zealand. When I was there, we took a boat ride to the end of the lake. It cost around 15 euros and took about 50 minutes to cross the lake. Now the first stop was to the famous St. Bartholomew's Church. We kept going and we reached the end of the lake. We then
I don't know how to explain this, but do you guys keep these waters clean on purpose, or are these clean naturally? I never seen such clean waters, man.
hiked about 10 minutes to reach Obersee. I mean, just home to this iconic lake hut, and the scenery there is just astounding. I mean, the lake's so clear, and it's just surrounded by massive mountain walls that are hard to explain. I mean, I just had a great time enjoying the scenery around the lake. Definitely got to explore Kunensee and Obersee while you're in Berchtesgaden. After, we're going to visit the city of Dresden. Near the Czech Republic border, Dresden is an incredibly beautiful city built upon the Elbe River. It's famous for its Baroque and Rococo architecture.
Wow.
Now, leading up to the 20th century, Dresden was just a remarkably beautiful place. But tragically, during World War II, the city was almost completely destroyed by air raids. I mean, the whole city was just turned into rubble.
Pieces.
Now, the restoration of the city took decades to complete. Now, today, Dresden is one of Germany's most visited cities and has been nicknamed the Florence of the Elbe. Now, a beautiful nature spot near Dresden is the Bastei Bridge.
Look at that bridge.
It's located in Saxon, Switzerland, and it's this famous rock formation, part of the Elbe Sandstone Mountains. It's been a tourist attraction for over 200 years. In 1824, a wooden bridge was made into the rock formation, which was later replaced to the present bridge today. I mean, such a cool spot. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit some of Germany's rivers. Now, Germany is home to some of Europe's most important rivers, and many scenic cities, towns, and castles have been built upon the river shores. Now, one of the most important is the Danube. It originates in the Black Forest and empties in the Black Sea on Romania's coast, making it the second largest river in all Europe. Now, one of my favorite cities on the Danube is Passau. It's located right on the Austrian border, and Passau is nicknamed the City of Three Rivers as it's built upon the confluence of the Danube, Inn, and Ilz rivers. And it's just pretty cool how you can see the different colors of the rivers as they merge together. Now, during the Renaissance period, Passau was one of Germany's best sword and bladed weapon manufacturers. I mean, it must have been pretty cool to live in Passau back then. Now, the longest river in Germany is the Rhine. It begins in Switzerland and empties in the North Sea as it crosses through important cities such as Cologne and Dusseldorf. Now, the banks of the Rhine River are home to so many towns and castles. An interesting place is the Pfalz Grafenstein Castle, quite the name. Now, it was built in the 14th century and served as a toll station for passing ships. A chain was put across the river, making sure ships would pay the toll, and uncooperative sailors would be put in the castle's dungeon. I mean, it's pretty fascinating if you ask me. Now, another notable river in Germany is the Mosel. It's located in western Germany, and the Mosel River is home to some of Germany's best wine country, as the river's hillsides are covered with terraced vineyards where some of the best Riesling grapes grow. One of the most notable
gonna ask, like, the grapes in those areas had to taste amazing.
Places on the river is the Cochem Castle. The original castle was built back in the 1100s, and it made its money by collecting shipping tolls on passing ships down on the river. Sadly, it was destroyed in 1689 by the French, but in 1868 a wealthy businessman from Berlin decided to rebuild the castle ruins. Today it stands perched on a hill overlooking the beautiful town of Cochem and the Mosel River. Another fairy tale location in Germany is the Hohenzollern Castle. Now, I have to say, this is one of the most impressive castles in all of Germany. It sits perfectly on Mount Hohenzollern and can be seen from miles away. Hohenzollern is the last of three castles that was built upon this hill.
These castles are basically what it is, the model skyline, basically. The thing about these kind of castles, they have more presence, right? They're stronger.
It was completed in 1867 as a memorial to the Prussian royal family. Today it's one of Germany's most visited castles, and I understand why. Now, after, we're going to visit Lake Constance. Now, it's this massive lake that's not only in Germany but also borders Austria and Switzerland. Now, it's the second largest lake in all of Europe by volume. Now, one scenic place on the lake is this town called Lindau. Now, what makes it so unique is that it's this island. Now, it was first mentioned by a monk in the 9th century, and during medieval times it became quite the fortified city. Today, it's a popular place to visit. I just love the harbor and just the fact that it's an island. I mean, just such a cool place. Another picturesque city on Lake Constance is Meersburg. It's located right on the shores, and it's a historical town lined with beautiful colored houses. After, we're going to visit the capital city of Berlin. Now today, Berlin is a thriving capital with a population of over 3.6 million people. It's an incredible city with a complicated history. Now Berlin was first documented in the 13th century. During World War II, it was the headquarters of Hitler's Third Reich and became the most heavily bombed city in history. After the war, Berlin was divided into the East and West Berlin. With the end of the Cold War, East and West Berlin were finally reunited in 1990. So one of my favorite spots is the Brandenburg Gate. It's this 18th century neoclassical monument that is Germany's national symbol of unity and peace. You can also check out the Berlin Wall Memorial to see remnants of the historical wall. After Berlin, we're going to head over to Hamburg, located in northern. On the Elbe River, Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany after Berlin. Thanks to its access to the North Sea, Hamburg grew as the port city throughout the ages. Today it is Europe's third largest port. I just love all the canals that run through the city. Hamburg is home to 2,500 bridges. Number of bridges in Europe. It reminds me of a modern day Venice. A really impressive spot in the city is the Speicherstadt. It's the largest warehouse district in the world. Now another beautiful spot in the city is the Auster Lakes. It's a set of 2 artificial lakes that are often full of sailboats during the summertime. While we're still in northern Germany.
That is a very beautiful one. Wow. That's the one that looks very medieval.
Now located just an hour's drive from Hamburg, Lübeck is the second largest city on Germany's Baltic coast. Lübeck is famous for being the de facto capital of the Hanseatic League, which was a medieval organization that dominated maritime trade between the 13th and 15th centuries. Even after the Hanseatic League fell apart in 1669, Lübeck remained an important trading town on the Baltic Sea. Today, Lübeck is one of northern Germany's most beautiful cities, and it's nicknamed the City of Seven Towers thanks to its prominent church towers that dot the city. My favorite feature of Lübeck is the Holsten Gate. It was built in 14...
Always said that this little castle thing, it looks a little bit tilted to the side, right? It looks kind of like... it might be the optic.
1964 and served as the city's gate. Today it's a museum and stands as a symbol for the city. I mean, I just love its 2 Gothic towers, and they kind of have a lean on them. I mean, such an incredible structure. Now from Lübeck, you can venture up to the Baltic coast. A beautiful area is Bråten. It's home to coastal cliffs and incredible views of the Baltic Sea. There's a walking trail that follows the coast, and it's an ideal spot to explore on a summer day. You can also visit the shores of Schwarbutz. There's a massive beach and pier to walk out on. One of the most beautiful palaces in northern Germany is the Schwerin Castle. It's located about an hour from Hamburg, and the castle is built upon an island in Lake Schwerin. There's been castles on the island since the 10th century, but the majority of the castle you see today was built in the 19th century. The castle is regarded as one of Europe's best examples of romantic architecture and is being nicknamed the Neuschwanstein of the North. Afterwards, we're going to visit Cologne. Now located on the Rhine River in western Germany, this 2,000-year-old city is full of history and beauty. It was established in the 1st century AD thanks to its location as one of Europe's major trade routes. It grew to be one of the largest cities north of the Alps during medieval and Renaissance times. Sadly, during World War II, Cologne was one of the most heavily bombed cities.
Wow.
Thankfully, the city has been rebuilt today. The most popular attraction of the city is the Cologne Cathedral. Its construction began in 1248 AD, and it wasn't completed for nearly 600 years until 1880. I mean, the wait was worth it.
Wow.
I just can't believe the details of this Gothic cathedral. After Cologne, we're going to head over to Frankfurt. Located in west central Germany, Frankfurt is one of Europe's major financial hubs, and it's home to the European Central Bank. It's full of beautiful skyscrapers and
I think we saw this ones, right? Yeah, I think so, right?
Kind of reminds me of American cities. Aside from its skyscrapers and financial district.
So I'm gonna just leave it here. But wow, what a great video, right? I'm gonna just leave the link for the rest. That way you guys can watch it. But wow, I think the first couple of them we haven't watched them. But this, man, wow. Let me know what you guys think, and what do you guys think about these modern cities? Do you guys like that? Do you like the aesthetics? It looks nice. But it seems like Germany has done a very good job, and I mentioned this in a video, the last video, how to keep things like traditionally, but at the same time modern at the same time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I cannot wait to go to Germany. I'll see you in the next one.